Can you envision a world without physical books and libraries? A world where the written word exists solely in the digital realm? Let's journey into the not-so-distant future, where technology's unyielding march has swept across the globe, rendering the tangible, papery essence of books a mere relic of the past. E-books and digital libraries are the new norm, and the once vibrant paperback novels now lay forgotten, gathering dust on abandoned shelves. In this age of digital dominance, we find Amelia, an anomaly in a world entranced by screens. She is the last librarian, safeguarding the remaining public library in her town, a place she reveres as sacred. As the world around her succumbs to the allure of digitization, Amelia fights to keep the tradition of physical books alive. But with each passing day, her sacred sanctuary sees fewer visitors, its silence growing louder. Amelia, the last guardian of the written word, found herself at a crossroads. One day, in the dusty attic of the library, Amelia stumbled upon something extraordinary. As she was clearing through the cobwebbed corners and long-forgotten storage boxes, her hand brushed against an old, weathered piece of parchment. It was a map, an intricate maze of lines and symbols, depicting a hidden world beneath the city they all thought they knew so well. The map whispered of a secret underground chamber known as the Library of Forgotten Books. This clandestine sanctuary was said to hold countless volumes of literature from every corner of the globe. These were the stories that time and technology had left behind, tales that were no longer accessible through modern search engines or digital archives. Imagine that, in a world where information was just a click away, there existed an entire library of knowledge, narratives, and wisdom that were invisible to the digital eye. These were not just books, they were portals to different times and places, carrying the echoes of voices long silenced. Amelia's heart raced as she traced the winding path on the map with her fingers. This was more than a discovery, it was a call to action. She felt a renewed sense of purpose, a revitalizing spark that breathed life into her weary spirit. This was her chance to save the forgotten, to resurrect the stories buried beneath layers of dust and digital oblivion. Her mission was clear: to venture into the depths of the Library of Forgotten Books, to touch and turn each page, and to breathe life back into the stories that lay dormant within. She would catalogue each title, digitize them, and make them available for the world to rediscover. She would be the bridge between the past and the present, the analog and the digital, the lost and the found. Amelia's journey was not just about preserving books, it was about preserving a piece of humanity that was slowly fading away. She was the last librarian, but she was also the first guardian of the forgotten. This was Amelia's mission, to bring these forgotten stories back to the world. Amelia embarked on a journey of preservation, one book at a time. Our protagonist, Amelia, was not one to be deterred by the enormity of her task. Each day, she descended into the depths of the Library of Forgotten Books, her heart filled with determination and her mind buzzing with anticipation. In the quiet solitude of this hidden chamber, Amelia began the painstaking process of cataloguing each forgotten title, carefully noting down their authors, publication dates, and other relevant information. But Amelia's mission didn't stop there. She knew that in order for these stories to reach the hearts of people once again, they needed to be accessible in the digital realm. And so, she embarked on the arduous task of digitizing each book. With a high-resolution scanner and a meticulous hand, Amelia breathed digital life into the pages that had long been silent. Every word, every image, every delicate nuance of these books was captured and transformed into a format compatible with the digital age. Yet Amelia's quest was not without its trials and tribulations. The delicate pages of some books were so fragile, they threatened to crumble under the slightest touch. Others were written in languages so ancient, they posed a challenge even for Amelia's seasoned linguistic skills. But with every challenge she faced, Amelia's resolve only strengthened. She knew that each book she managed to digitize was a victory, a piece of human history reclaimed from the clutches of oblivion. Many a late night turned into dawn as Amelia worked tirelessly, her eyes straining against the soft glow of the scanner, her fingers dancing on the keyboard. She was a lone soldier in the battle against time, racing against the clock to preserve these stories before they were lost forever. And slowly, but surely, Amelia's efforts began to bear fruit. As each book was digitized, it found a new home in the vast expanse of the digital world. The forgotten stories that once languished in the darkness of the underground chamber started to shine once again, illuminating the virtual landscape with their wisdom and charm. Through her dedication, the forgotten stories began to find their place in the digital world. News of Amelia's efforts spread like wildfire. Like a seed carried by the wind, word of Amelia's mission took root far and wide. It was as if a beacon had been lit in the heart of the literary world, calling out to those who still held a torch for the written word. From scholars nestled in the hallowed halls of ancient universities, to historians hunched over manuscripts in remote corners of the globe, to bibliophiles whose love for books had never waned, Amelia's call was heard. Soon the library's doors began to creak open more frequently. People from all walks of life, each with their unique set of skills, came forward to aid in Amelia's quest. They volunteered their time, their expertise, and their passion, forming a tapestry of diverse individuals united by a common goal: to preserve the forgotten. This resurgence of interest was not confined to the scholarly. The everyday person, too, began to feel a pull towards the library. The lure of the physical book, with its rough pages and musty scent, was rekindled. The thrill of holding a piece of history, a tangible link to the past, began to outshine the sterile glow of digital screens. A wave of nostalgia swept through the town as people rediscovered the charm of flipping through pages, of tracing their fingers over words penned centuries ago. The library, once a quiet repository of forgotten tales, began to buzz with activity. The sound of hushed whispers debating the merits of a long-lost writer, the soft thud of a book being closed after a satisfying read, the shared laughter over a witty line, these were the new melodies that filled the air. Under Amelia's watchful eye, the library transformed. It was no longer just a haven for books, but a sanctuary for the human spirit. It became a place where curiosity was kindled, where knowledge was shared, and where the past was not just preserved, but celebrated. The last librarian was no longer a place of silence, but a buzzing hub of rediscovery and celebration. Not everyone saw Amelia's mission in the same light. It's a truth that echoes across the ages. Progress often comes with those who resist it. Amelia's endeavor, her quest to preserve the library of forgotten books, was no exception to this rule. In the eyes of some, Amelia was a relic, a librarian clutching onto the past, refusing to embrace the digital age that had redefined the world around her. They saw her efforts as futile, an attempt to swim against the tide of inevitable change. Books are obsolete, they would say. Why bother preserving what's no longer needed? But Amelia, our last librarian, was not deterred. She didn't see herself as a resistor of change. No, she saw herself as an agent of preservation. To her, every book tucked away in that hidden library was more than just bound paper and ink. Each one held stories, wisdom, lessons, and memories that were cornerstones of our collective human experience. The opposition was fierce. There were those who questioned her motives, doubted her resolve, and even attempted to undermine her mission. But Amelia's spirit was unyielding. She faced each challenge head-on, her belief in the value of each book unwavering. She found herself often saying, "These books, they aren't just texts. They're the echoes of our past, whispers of our history, and insights into our evolution as a society. They're vessels of knowledge that have sailed through time, carrying with them the stories of countless lives. How can we let such treasures fade into oblivion?" Amelia's persistence was the beacon that guided her through the storm of opposition. She stood her ground, her belief in the importance of each book serving as her unwavering North Star. She understood that progress was not about discarding the old, but finding ways to integrate it with the new. To Amelia, every book was a testament to our human history, worth every effort to preserve. And so, she pressed on, steadfast and resolute, driven by the power of her persistence and her unwavering belief in the enduring value of the written word. In a world dominated by technology, one librarian dared to swim against the current. Amelia, our last librarian, embarked on a quest to salvage the forgotten. Her journey was a testament to the tenacity of the human spirit, a spirit that clung to the enchantment of ink-stained pages and the rustle of paper. Amelia's mission breathed new life into neglected volumes, resurrecting stories buried under layers of digital dust. She ventured into the depths of the library of forgotten books, preserving each title, and in doing so, preserved pieces of our collective history. She sparked a resurgence of interest, transforming her library into a hub of literary celebration. Despite facing challenges, Amelia's unwavering dedication proved that progress and tradition could coexist. Her legacy, a world where the smell of aged paper and the whisper of turning pages still hold a cherished place. The last librarian stands as a beacon, reminding us that while technology may change how we read, it can never erase the magic of a book held in hand.